BlackUSA.News morning show. My name's Donnie Glover, and I will be your host. Listen, the Black Wall Street Imad Center, 2132 West North Avenue, is this Saturday. We hope that you all are able to attend this Saturday from 3 to 5 p.m. at the Imad Center, 2132 West North Avenue. We have a number of honorees, including NachoBangers.com, Catherine Marie, WEAA's Robert Shaheed, Mosiah Fit, Nikisha Turner, William Davis, Adam Samuels, Herbert Lucas, Angela Muhammad, Mark Clack, Cameron Miles, do come on through this Saturday, 3 p.m. at the Imad Center. Without further ado, we're going to get to the man with the plan. Brother Terence, good morning. You got to cut your mute button off. Hit your mute button.
Hey, peace. Good morning, Donnie. Good morning, everybody. Happy
All
Wednesday.
right, all right.
All right.
How have you been?
How have you been?
Really awesome.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I want you to go out and come back in. We got reverb. It ain't going to work. Go out and come back in. We've run into that before, and that's an ugly presentation. Good morning, Rico. Brother Mike Haney. Hey, Mike Haney, we got to redo that link thing you were talking about. Because clearly I fell asleep. It was 11 o'clock at night, you know. So, again, the Black Wall Street Imad Center this Saturday, 3 p.m. over at 2132 West North Avenue in the heart of West Baltimore. Again, those honorees include Brittany Hector, Angela Muhammad, Mark Clack, Cameron Miles, Herbert Lucas, Adam Samuels, William Davis, Nikisha Turner, NachoBangers.com, Catherine Marie, Robert Shaheed, Mosiah. Let's try this again.
There we go. All right.
Do you it's the speaker or something? It's echoing.
You're echoing right now. You hear an echo on me?
Or me.
Let me see. Testing.
Do you have earphones there?
No, I apologize. I don't have any earphones.
We got a bad connection. It just won't work. Try your phone. We've learned a thing or two by doing these broadcasts, but you keep going anyway. What's happening in the news? I'll tell you the truth. I took a break from the news. I don't know how those news reporters do it, especially Fox. They got to report the slave report every day. God, I would hate to be a black person working there. But you can cut Fox off on Monday and go back Thursday and they're playing the same damn stories. You ever notice that? Black man guilty of murder. Black man did this. Black man did that. Come here. Usually I have this on me when security makes his alarm. Pharaoh, would you like to say hello? I'll jump up here. Stop making all that noise. So waiting on Terence Dickson to come in. There's a big crab feast today down at Tars, down on the Eastern Shore. See my man messing up the whole studio here. All of the politicians are heading down. As a matter of fact, the big event is tonight down at the BWI Western. Gubernatorial candidates are going to be there. Now, on the Republican side, what stands out in my mind is Kelly Schultz won't be there. She decided that she won't be attending. Let me give you some of the details on that. Come on. I have to check the email. And that's going to be a little, okay. Here we go. Let me read it to you. So tonight, the Maryland gubernatorial candidates speak on their Black agenda. Maryland Black Caucus Foundation will be hosting the 2022 Maryland gubernatorial candidates reception. This is 6 to 9 p.m. at the Westin Baltimore BWI Hotel. And so this is that you got Rashawn Baker, John Byrne. I don't even know what John Byrne looks like. Peter Francho, Doug Gansler, John King. We interviewed him last Friday. Ashwani Jain, never heard of him. Wes Moore, Tom Perez, Mike Rosenbaum. I've not met Mike Rosenbaum. Republicans Daniel Cox and Robin Ficker. Libertarian David Lasher or Lashar. So there it is, 6 p.m. Maybe me and Mike Haney will go down to check out these gubernatorial candidates. And Mike Haney, let me just put the link out there for you in case you want to come and chime in. Because clearly our guest is having some technical challenges. There you go with the link. So yeah, we've just been working on Black Wall Street. We had a book signing. Might as well plug the book. I Am Black Wall Street. Big ups to Andy Havas in Hungary. Andy bought some books. You know, selling a book is a full-time hustle. You always got to get them out there. Sometimes people show up at the book signing. Sometimes you got to take them to their houses. It's a full-time hustle. And that's just the way it is. You got to roll with the punches. David Miller is one of my big inspirations. He's always selling hundreds and hundreds of books. But I'm starting off 60, 50, 60 at a time. And so we've sold 3 times 6, about 200 books so far. 200. Not bad. Slowly but surely making progress. Harlem showed us a lot of love. Can't wait to go to the DC suburbs and to Prince George's County. That's always going to be lovely. Mike Haney, come on in, stop playing, man. There's so much information. A couple of heroes, of course. Chief John Horse, the Black Indian, he's a hero in this book, as well as Captain John Brown. I can't tell those 2 stories enough. Chief John Horse was a Black Seminole down in Florida. And I tell you, the book is loaded with Florida history, Floridian history, that a lot of us just don't know, including the Second Seminole War, which was in effect the largest slave insurrection. And they would have you think that no blacks fought their way out of slavery. Hogwash, bull feces. Blacks been fighting since our first interaction with the European in the Western Hemisphere. It's been war, and it's still war, unfortunately. It always amazes me how people say, well, don't live in the past. You can't keep bringing up slavery. Yeah, but y'all keep on doing stupid stuff to us, you know, like this voting rights legislation, you know. So the board is tilted. The game is tilted. The game is stacked. And it's a fight. As long as you're Black and in America, Facebook might not want to acknowledge you, but as long as you're Black and in America, boy, they are raking Zuckerberg over the coals. There's an op-ed on one of our sites talking from Color of Change, and they're talking about the antitrust laws with Facebook, saying that Facebook is too strong, too powerful, and they're asking for government intervention. They talked about the blackout that went down and how much people's personal data was in jeopardy with Facebook and Instagram going down. And what I didn't know that I learned last week is that Facebook not only owns Instagram, but they also own WhatsApp. I didn't know that. Pretty phenomenal. Little company got his hands in everything. So people are concerned with antitrust and bullying and being a monopoly. One of the things that has come out is that social media in general is using some of the same things used to make people addicted to cigarettes, alcohol, and a lot of other stuff. The editorial has alluded, well, actually, it was an interview I saw where the person was talking about addiction and how social media is addictive, how social media taps into the dopamine in the brain and makes us vulnerable. I saw all kinds of memes, as did you, about what people did last week when social media went down. Some people saw memes of people just staring into space, looking down and not knowing what they're looking down at. Having been blocked so many times, I'm used to it. I've been at Supermax since last January, thanks to Facebook. I had a page with 211,000 followers. Blocked. They said I was a racist. Imagine that. Trump ain't a racist, but Donnie Glover's a racist. Trump causing insurrection and deaths. But he's not a racist. Donnie Glover's a racist. And what I really sense is that just like the American criminal justice system, they target outspoken Black people, especially if you're saying something. If you're talking about dancing and making videos, they're not going to bother you. You're talking about comedy, they're not going to bother you. You're talking about the disgusting rap music that has so many of our youth plagued and troubled, they're not going to bother you. But talk about some politics, talk about getting rid of the Trumpsters, talk about Manchin and Biden. Oh, don't nobody want to hear it. I know this, my people better wake up. This country has let us know time and time again where we stand, where they stand with us. We haven't received reparations. We haven't received the Homestead Act. We haven't received 40 acres and a mule. And many of the greats said the only way you get it is you have to take it. That's what Malcolm said about your freedom, about your liberty. You have to take it. Well, we may have to cut this show a little short today. We'll do a better job planning tomorrow. I did want to stop through and say hello. I can tell you a little bit more about the book. I was talking with someone who went to school in Chicago. Now, one of the things I allude to in this book is how there are Black business districts, Black Wall Streets everywhere, including Chicago. And this young man was a student from Nigeria, and all he kept saying in the conversation, he lived in Bronzeville. Bronzeville is Chicago's Black Wall Street, at least their historic Black Wall Street. And like so many cities across America, gentrification, demographic changes, Black Wall Streets tend to change. But nowadays, and big ups to the official Black Wall Street app. They have nearly 1 million followers. I think that is phenomenal. I don't know how much history is on there, but in terms of business, they are promoting a lot of businesses, particularly women-owned businesses. Oh, look at here. I thought where are you?
Hey, Donnie, I'm on my way down to the Eastern Shore representing BlackUSA.News to the Miller Taw's Crab Feast, the annual Crab Feast, which should be really hot given it's an election year. So I received an invitation from one of our highest elected officials. So I'm going down there to find out what's going on, man, so that we can report back. So
well, you tell them high-ranking officials that I didn't get no invitation, and I'm going to have a talk with them, have a little sit-down out at the woodshed.
Well, what they said was that they knew you were doing your show, and they know that I'm your.
Hey, hold up! They got them big old jumbo crabs. Stop playing. I ain't the one.
Well, Donnie, we're represented. Let's just say that, So where I am, you are. And if I can stick a crab in my pocket, man, I'll bring you one back.
I need 6 of them.
6? Okay.
6,
of course, you want jumbo.
Yeah, that's right. And you know what? I'll let you start with 3 jumbos. Well, maybe 4. Because you know what? Once you start, you don't want to stop. So 4 would do it. 4 of the big ones.
I will make sure I do that.
Don't you bring no spiders back here. We're going to come looking for you. You know what
I'll
spiders are?
make,
That's what my daddy called them.
yeah, I know what they are. I'll make sure I do that for you, Donnie. You know, if it wasn't for this being one of the more important political seasons coming up for black people, I wouldn't even make this track down to Chrisfield, man, a 3.5 hour drive. But I think it's imperative that they know that we're front and present and that we're going to hold them accountable finally. I mean, I was listening to the interview yesterday with Delegate Barnes, and I think he's a phenomenal human being, phenomenal, just like Adrian Jones, a good friend of mine, phenomenal. You know, but at the end of the day, where are we relative to when they started in their political circles today? You know, and so something has got to change. There's got to be a different level of accountability, even for those that have been in office for 20 years, Donnie, and we're like on a merry-go-round. You know, when do we come off the merry-go-round? You know, what is the consequences for our politicians continuing to tell us what we want to hear, but we're always in the same place? And somehow I think it's on us now, Donnie. It's on people like your media group. It's on us as voters to hold these politicians accountable. Man, I'm getting tired of it, man. Nice people always say the right thing, but 4 years later we're saying the same daggone thing, Donnie. It's time to change, man. I mean, how many more political seeds do you and I have left in our era or our life where we're going to see some substantive change? Just on the economic issues, man. After a pandemic, the economic issues are without precedent in the black community, man. The disparity on what was gained by white businesses, just like in '09, the hoarding of cash by banks and other white businesses, to what the black gained in this pandemic itself has been an inequality that is mind-boggling. I asked the question yesterday. Then I'm going to shut up because I'm going to be on this merry-go-round for the duration of the election. We need, in the state of Maryland, a seat at the table that decides the billions of dollars of contracts in Maryland. We need a seat. We've got Adrian Jones in leadership. We've got Gerald Barnes. We've got Corey McCray. We even have the Lieutenant Governor, Boyd Rutherford, a phenomenal human being. But we do not have a seat at the Board of Public Works table, and there needs to be one designed and designated for black people to have a vote on what money is being spent in this state and where it goes. If there's any stakeholders to this country, Native Americans who were here before everyone, and blacks who built it on their back,
Hey, Mike,
deserve a seat at the table.
Mike, nobody wants to hear that from us. Let me tell you this, and you know what? Maybe this is first blood. We did an interview on this show with Brooke Learman. She's running for comptroller. I asked Brooke Learman about whether or not she stood for black business, and she dodged the question. And I want black people to know about this. Now, on the other hand, we really haven't heard from Tim Adams. Both of them are running for comptroller. She's white, he's black. But when I asked her, because the Board of Public Works, they vote on contracts every Wednesday. But when I asked her about black business, she really had no answer at all. I did not sense at all that she would be anything like a Marion Barry when it comes to black business.
And this is the liberal white woman from Baltimore City with a powerful daddy that advocates in court black votes, and she didn't have thought about black business. That's interesting.
Good morning to Alexis Coach. And it's time to put it out there. Now, Tim Adams, the black man, the mayor of Bowie, he's going to have to step up because we really haven't seen him. It does look like Brooke Learman is out campaigning him. So he's going to have to pick it up a notch. But when she was on this show and we have invited her back, she had absolutely no rep for black businesses, none. And so what's interesting is when I see all of these, when I see whether or not we see black elected officials coming to her side, that will be very important.
Sean Baker, running mate, right?
You're breaking up. Say it again.
Yeah, I'll try to fix that. Rashawn Baker came out with his running mate last night.
Oh, he did? Who is it?
Lady Nancy Navarra out of Montgomery County City Council. I believe that she's either Native American or Spanish. You know, because Lord help us if we ever had competency and two high-level blacks run on the same ticket. Oh, my God, would America change? So we can never think about that. So we have to look at diversity ourselves and equity ourselves. And, you know, we know that there would never be the possibility of two high-level officials looking like us. Isn't that unfortunate?
Nancy Navarro. Now, she looks a little familiar.
So I don't know what her claim to fame is other than she sits on the city council, local government in Montgomery County. And that's being done, Donnie. Yeah, that's probably being done to counteract Peter Franchos' power in Montgomery County, because you know Peter's from Montgomery County. And they did the same thing when the guy from Kamenetz from Baltimore County, man, he picked someone from Montgomery County as well. Because Montgomery County, there's the voters out there. So I think people feel it's important to have someone from Montgomery County on the ticket.
Yeah, but it leaves Baltimore County, Harriet County, it leaves us befuddled. You like that word, befuddled?
Well, Baltimore is still Baltimore is a very, very, very important geographical voting place. Maybe not necessarily in numbers, because we know that Baltimore's population has dwindled, but because Baltimore is the center for the state of Maryland, just carrying Baltimore, even if it only had to do with 300,000 people, is imperative. It's the #1 destination in the state. So carrying Baltimore is very important. And then you got Baltimore County, which they're kind of intertwining into Baltimore City now to kind of offset some of the optics of Baltimore City. And that's just my opinion.
I would totally agree. I would also add that Baltimore is the media center.
Yeah, Baltimore media. Yeah, Baltimore media. Important.
Annapolis channel of Baltimore television stations cover Annapolis, right? Channel 11, 13, 2, Fox, they all cover Annapolis. So if you're watching anything coming out of Annapolis, Baltimore, Howard County, it's Baltimore News, it's Baltimore media.
Absolutely, Donnie. That's important that you say that. And that's why I believe BlackUSA.News and BeMore.com's profile this election is going to be crucial. You're going to have press passes for people that you feel appropriate to cover stuff. I have a feeling that this is going to be an opportune time for black media, particularly outlets like yours that are internet-based, because social media based. I heard you make the comment earlier about the relevancy of social media. And so how do we continue to grow that? You know, also realize Prince George's, Montgomery are DC media based, and that's the importance of having Prince George's and Montgomery County profile, because, you know, the news over in DC, a wide perspective, and it's money. It comes down to the money. You got a lot of money coming into the Maryland campaign that ain't necessarily from Marylanders alone, particularly out of the D.C. and Northern Virginia market, the Delaware, New Jersey, all the way up to New York. A lot of money comes into Maryland. And Maryland is a very conservative state, man. With a high population of Democrats, Maryland is really almost Republican to a degree in terms of its thinking and its legislation. Very slow to move. Very slow to move.
Catalina Bird calls it a purple state.
Hey, Catalina, now that's somebody I would love to see show up on here. You ought to set her a link. We'd have a real good last 30-minute discussion. I love Catalina, man. She has no cut cards. Well, she cut a little bit the last election, but you know she goes for the jugular. I like the fact, and I know she hears me, and I'm trying to punch her into coming up and hitting that link button for you. Hey, Catalina.
Yeah, she has no cut cards. Calls Maryland a purple state. So outside of Greater Baltimore, Prince George's and the rest of the state is red. Western Maryland, Eastern Shore. I mean, where you headed at? You're headed to Trump country.
Yeah, I'm headed down to Trump country, where everyone feels as though they have to go here because of the historical nature and who's here. So all your politicians come down here and make this track because it's necessary. It's almost like being blessed by the Godfather to come here and see people and eat crabs and break bread in this environment. You don't come here. They said that last year Ben Jealous looked like a fish out of water. He didn't know what the heck to do when he came down. He was walking around, didn't know whether to sit down, eat crabs, interact with these people or whatever, because it's a different missive. The different misses. Any politician worth his salt know what the real purpose is coming down to the Militars annual crab feast.
So I can't wait to get the report
Particularly
from you.
during a key election season. So I'll let you know who's down here.
I want to know who's got signs up. Who has the best sign? I want to know who has the best sign game.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to get you some pictures of what I see down here, but more we look at the body language. Look at the body language and see what's happening with the politicians, because it's about to be on.
And that shows why she's not showing up to the gubernatorial forum tonight.
Apple?
Kelly Schultz, the leading Republican
Kelly Schultz? So ask Kelly Schultz why she is. Yeah, well, Kelly, I know Kelly from the Department of Commerce, Frederick County. Nice person, Michigan. She's from Michigan initially, so she has a head in Maryland, but her heart's in Michigan. And, you know, single mom, raised her kids, put herself through school. So she has a story. You know, but at the end of the day, you know, she still has the Republican foundation of her beliefs. And what does that mean? It'd be good to get her on that forum and ask her, but I'll ask her. I'll say, Donnie said, that's going to be my line today. Donnie wanted me to ask you. Just kidding, Donnie.
It's all good. I'm a big boy. But those are questions people want to know. Where are you? Why wouldn't you show up to this forum?
Yeah, well, Donnie, I suspect that a lot of people don't want to be exposed too early. So when you go out, like Peter Franchos, you know, he's pretty much an open face. You know, there's not much in his closet, no skeletons really that haven't been unveiled in the 20, 30 years he's been in politics. But if you go out too early, then people have a chance to look in your closet and look under your hood and see what's going on. So people that have something that they really don't want out there, they consolidate, this is just my opinion, their political season so that they're less scrutinized. Does that make sense?
No.
It does.
Shouldn't run for office at all.
I'm sorry?
They shouldn't run for office at all.
Well, Donnie, that's, you and I understand and know that. But they do that anyway, and so their strategy becomes different than what we would expect in terms of transparency. But then you know a lot of politicians run for office for the purpose of being in power so they can influence the special interests that benefits them, and so that's why they're put up. They're put up in spite of the baggage that they may have. But everybody has baggage. You and I may have baggage. Everybody has baggage. Just a matter of the baggage
But you
acceptable
can't,
to
but
the
you can't
voters.
sit up there, you can't sit up there and talk about transparency when you're being everything but transparent.
Hmm. That's real, Donnie. That's real. But is
So
that not usual in politics? But that's the way politics is, Donnie. You know that. You know, we always discover the good, juicy secrets after they get elected,
yeah, like Keith Haynes. What
right?
happened to Keith Haynes? What happened to Keith Haynes?
That's a good question. That's a good question. So you look at Keith Haynes and you look at a couple of our black elected officials that seemingly left office around the same time that had Annapolis roots in politics, and whether there was a deal because maybe the Fed said, "Hey, man, we got a lot on everybody, but maybe we can get some." I don't want to speculate, but it was very odd when you look at those that may have left a bit earlier than, for whatever reasons, they were not feeling good, they were not healthy, they took marijuana money, whatever. But there were a group of black politicians, Annapolis based, that just all of a sudden were gone within a 12-month period.
That usually means
Interesting.
somebody got some dirt on you. You broke law, or you did something. Speaking of
Yeah,
the moral,
it could mean that, or what it may mean they got somebody to squeal.
okay, same thing. So look, I wanted to ask you about former governor's chief of staff Roy McGrath. Do you know Roy McGrath?
So
Did you hear the
yeah,
story?
yeah, sure, man. Roy McGrath just got greedy, man. So here's a guy that looks real good in a suit and tie that was kind of greasy and dirty before the governor pulled him out of the position he was in that state agency to be his chief of staff, right? So he pulled him out of that state agency to be the chief of staff, and on the way out, Roy took $200,000. Well, somebody just doesn't get that greasy overnight. But the
Yeah,
appearance,
he been like this since.
yeah, he had issues before. He had issues before, but now he's under federal indictment, so he's a sacrificial lamb for the Republican Party in the state of Maryland. He's going to pay for that.
He was a sacrificial lamb. Looked like that was suicide. He went and said the governor gave.
Well, hey, Donnie, somebody gave him up. What he did is not unusual. What they really got him for was not for the bonus that he got the board. It wasn't like he signed his own check. He got the board to write him a severance package leaving, inferring that the governor was okay with it, knowing that it was uncomfortable.
You're breaking up, Mike. You're breaking up.
Well, what he did in going up to Boston and taking classes from Harvard, going on a vacation and being paid for it, static.
Your reception is getting bad and worse.
Hold on one second, buddy.
Keep your eye on the road now. I saw a lady trying to do Facebook Live and drive.
Yeah, I got you.
Not a good look.
Yeah, well, this is what the guy on channel Fox News does every day when he does what's that guy named, the country guy that does the TV news traffic report. So I just
Jimmy.
learned from him. Now you got the
Jimmy.
same thing. Yeah, Jimmy. Yeah, he goes to
Yeah,
McDonald's on the job, and
yeah, but you're
yeah,
not
Jimmy
right.
does
Listen,
the same thing.
your face is gone. Your visual is gone. You came off.
Yeah, okay.
Traffic Jam Jimmy. You ain't Traffic Jam Jimmy. You're a black man, and they will lock your hind parts up quicker than a Baltimore speed camera. Stop playing with them state troopers.
All right, I think I'm back, Donnie. I think I should be back.
No, your camera's off.
But you right?
Your camera's off.
Right?
No, but look, we thank you for joining us. I want you to keep your eye. Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah, so McGrath looking at 20 years over in that federal prison system. Are you okay? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear, buddy.
All right, so how much farther do you have to go?
I got another 2 hours, Donnie. I'm going the distance for BlackUSA.News today, buddy.
Oh, you gonna blame it on us?
I mean,
you know, damn
no,
well,
no, it's not a. It's not a blame.
Weren't you just in Florida yesterday?
Yeah, you sent me down there to make sure that we had a national broadcast on Sunday, so I had to fly to Florida. I had to come back up here, go across the Golden Gate Bridge or whatever bridge you're sending me over, so that you can say that we got a national forward-moving, medium. And I'm good with that because I believe in you. So I got up early this morning, exhausted.
My encouragement was for you to go past the birthplace of Harriet Tubman and Frederick Douglass, not eat crabs with the Republicans and the Democrats.
So Dottie, let me tell you a quick story about Harriet Tubman. That I was at the inaugural opening of that museum. Every time I go back down here, I make point to acknowledge Harriet, who said, Donnie, and her saying is still crucial today. If more blacks knew they were slaves, she could have freed more. And we still have the same mentality today that exists, and it needs to understand that statement.
Well, let me school you about something on the Eastern Shore. I have found, according to my sources, that quite often they get white experts to come there to articulate what Harriet Tubman did or did not do. This one expert said that Harriet Tubman freed 300 people. But that expert is obviously ignorant that Harriet was a part of the Kumbaya revolution where they freed over 700. So 300 plus 700 equals 1,000. Harriet Tubman was a spy in the Union Army. She was a hero. She was a Navy SEAL. And I get so sick of these non-black experts who really don't know anything. And they want to tell our story. Not only do they want to tell our story down on the Eastern Shore, they get commissioned to paint our paintings. Can you imagine what Frederick Douglass and Harriet Tubman would say, like, well, damn, ain't no black people can paint me? Here in Sandtown, no disrespect to non-blacks, but this is a 98% black community. We don't want to see a white muralist here. We don't want to see it at all. I damn sure don't, because we have our own. Damn, can we have it?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. As long as they're getting a check, Donnie, they're in the game.
They steal Henrietta Lacks themselves. They stole many of our ancestors' inventions. I mean, damn, don't they have any creativity? Or you just want to take everything black people got and put your name on it? Even the Asians, the way I watch them dance, everybody emulate black people, but don't nobody love black people.
Or want to pay them. That's the main thing, Donnie. We have enough political clout and political position in this state. And as I mentioned last night, The revolution will not be televised, but we have to understand what a revolution looks like: an economic revolution, an education revolution, a justice revolution in this country where we get equality at the table because our elected leaders who ran on the premise that we vote them in to have representation of color do what it is that they said they would do before they ran. Because no. And they're not doing what it is that they said they would do when they ran. They run as a black politician, and all of a sudden they get in office. They want a kumbaya moment and a degree of fairness and equity with everyone. And we elected them because of the inequity that we were suffering, and we thought black leadership or black elected officials would equal that out.
I don't know what happened to your sound.
We have to be responsible for our own issues at this point.
What happened to your sound? It muffled all of a sudden.
Hey, Donnie.
That's
Can
a
you
lot
hear
better.
me now? Yeah,
That's
you got to get me better equipment, man, for these road trips, man. You're sending me back to Africa next year, and you got to get me some good equipment, buddy.
Well, we bought this equipment from a black man, and he told us to stay away from the Eastern Shore. And that's because the alphabet people are bugging your device. They want to know what BlackUSA.News knows in terms of intel. Let me ask you, what do you expect to see from candidates at this TARS crab feast?
A lot of smiling, a lot of literature, avoiding each other, and just generally trying to be nice. You know, I think that's what politicians do publicly. Put on the nice face. You know, he's smiling, she's smiling, shaking hands, getting around, kissing babies, because that's the basic premise of running a politician, is to show people you don't have to be an asshole till you get elected and get in office. This is the first start of the realness of politics. It's all fake. Fake news.
I want to know how many black people Peter Francho has around him down there.
Well, at least be one. At least be one. Matter of fact, it'll be three because I'll be around him. But around him and around no, hear me out. Hear me out. Around him and around Rushion Baker, I'm going to be around a multitude of them. But you and I have had the conversation with Peter, and Peter is going to be on BlackUSA.News either on your show or my show in the coming weeks.
I think he's been avoiding my show. So
yeah,
he may want to get on your show.
So he's going to be on you. Yeah.
Nobody gets a pass. No softballs. This is baseball season. We get ready to go into the World Series, and we got a mean knuckleball. So if you can't hit the ball, don't step up to the plate. What they say? If you can't stand the heat, don't come into the kitchen.
Yeah, one thing we have to do, Donnie, is that we have to be the lead on a candidates forum from black media. And I'm looking at February, March, because BlackUSA.News, Be More News, is at the forefront to hold a candidates forum. Get it scheduled now. Get Rashawn, get Kelly, get Peter, and Perez, King, get all these guys committed now to participating, and hold them hostage by saying, hey, black people want to hear from you in the greater Baltimore area, man. Again,
listen, I want to reiterate to you tonight, the topic of discussion is what is your black agenda? And so you could ask them that today because all of them are scheduled to be there other than Kelly Schultz. What is your black agenda? And I'd love for you to get that on camera.
Hey, I'll do that, Donnie. I'll do that. Can you send me the details? What time is it, Donnie?
6 to 9 at the Westin Hotel.
At the Best Western, the one out in O'Donnell Street?
No, BWI Westin.
Okay, I got you. Well, hey, that's where I'll be at, Donnie. You're going to be there as well, right?
I'm going to do my best.
Yeah, I guess that's the stop I'll have to make on my way back from Chrisfield, man. It'll be around that time.
I wonder why the Legislative Black Caucus would plan this forum on the same day as this historic crab feast.
What did Delegate Barnes say? Isn't he the chair of the Legislative Black Caucus?
Well, that thought never came to mind to ask him that, but you're doing 7 hours of driving, a couple of hours of mingling, only to come back. This is grueling.
Yeah, reporting the truth firsthand always is, Donnie. Like I said, you and I and the rest of the team will have a eyewitness account of, as you said, the mingling, etc. And the 3 hours is perspective. It prepares you. So it's almost important to have that. But this is where we gotta go. This is what we have to do. And we have to share the data, share the information with everyone.
Hey, Mike, let's take a moment and give people some insight on global training centers.
Hey, so Donnie, Global Training Centers was born out of the pandemic. So we are an international entity that does workforce development training. We also do leadership development training, coaching for nonprofits, corporate associations, and we've had a great amount of success out of country, particularly Africa. We're doing some work in Ethiopia, Kenya. We're spreading our wings to Canada. But moreover, Donnie, next month, November 9th, we open up Staffing Solutions by Global. So Staffing Solutions by Global is a staffing company online that we've created that Myra Haney, my daughter, is going to run. Interactive. We built a platform to marry people looking for jobs with employers needing people in the healthcare and the hospitality and tourism arena. For job applicants, particularly our viewers, it is free to upload your resume. We give you a chance to do a 2-minute elevator speech on there. So we've got some unique technological features that will be a benefit to the applicant and likewise for the employer. So we're really excited about that. And that's going to be our next sponsorship for BlackUSA.News because that's an international entity as well. So we've got jobs listed in Africa, jobs listed in Canada, jobs listed in Australia, applicants all over the world as well. And I'm really excited about this, Donnie. I put almost my life into this entity that opens up next month.
Good deal. Well, we look forward to bringing more coverage to these developments. And so you can help people get a job. Is that the bottom line?
Absolutely, Donnie. We can help connect people with people that are looking to hire people for jobs. And if you don't have the skill set and you're returning citizens and you've got some issues in your background, what we love to do is help and advocate the fix. So getting people a job and preparing people for the workforce, sometimes isn't necessarily the same thing.
Okay, so that number is 1-800-719-JOBS, 1-800.
Yeah, but the bigger thing to do is to email info@globaltrainingcentersllc.com. info@globaltrainingcentersllc.com.
Good deal. Any final comments before we close down, big brother?
Hey, Donnie, I am on the other side of Bay Bridge. It's a spectacular day, man. The grace of God. Thank you so much for asking me again to speak. Last night's Donnie Glover show with Brother Mohammed out of Chicago, you need to rebroadcast that, man. More of us need to understand and see the simplicity and the common sense approach to life that this brother put in our face last night to understand how to live and how to help. particularly ourselves and our own, man. So you're doing some great stuff, man. So going across the bridge means nothing to what it is that you're doing for our people, man. We just need to grow this product so they're more exposed to it.
Well, if you have any problems, you let me know. I got a couple of 911 numbers for you, including a lawyer lady, Moon Ying Jackson Ama. She's the first Black woman councilman in Talbot County.
Hey, well, listen, I appreciate that. Maybe we should bring Killer. Isn't that your dog's name? What's your dog's name?
Pharaoh.
Pharaoh. Maybe you should let me take Pharaoh. I would have been okay.
As long as he can bring his vest and his gun.
Hey, Donnie, thanks a lot, man. I'll let you know what happens at night at that Black Candidates Forum, and definitely let you know what happens down here in Chrisfield relative to the political environment, man. Thanks a lot for having me. Have a great day, Donnie.
Good deal, folks. We'll be back tonight at 7 p.m. with Black Business Roundtable live from Oakland. My name's Donnie Glover. Have a powerful day. Good morning, world.